What is up, guys? Drew Martin here talking MLB for Saturday's card. What are we the end of May here, up 3 units on the season. Nothing crazy record-wise, but hopefully pound out a winning day, 2-1, if not 3-0 on today's card. Got 3 plays going. First one going on actually really soon here. So for the people watching live, hopefully we get a winner. If you're watching on replay, this one's likely going to be off the board. So we got 2:20 Eastern. First pitch here, Cincinnati and the Chicago Cubs. I'm on the Cubs, minus 115, risk 115 to win 100 here. A couple reasons why. Castillo on the hill for the Reds. He's a guy that, look, guys, in the past, he's been great. He's a guy with a whole lot of velocity, touch upper 90s, but 7 walks in his last 10 innings. Worrisome here. 8 earned runs in those 10 innings, over 10 hits given up. ERA of 7.6, 6 straight losses. The trend is your friend in baseball betting, really in sports betting overall. So we're getting a starting pitcher here in Castillo with 6 straight losses and a Cubs team that's won 5 straight games, and we're only having to pay 15 cents to be on them at home. The Cubs are also 17-9 in Wrigley. They have played very well. So I say hurry up and get in on the Cubs before it goes off the board here. 57 degrees, wind blowing in from Wrigley as well. So we get a low total here of 7. I think the walks are going to hurt Castillo even more. And talking about the Cubs pitcher here, guys, Zach Davies, look, he's not going to blow you away with his stuff. But the thing is, his ERA was 9.5 coming into the month of May, and it currently sits at 4.9. So he has been a ton better of late in the month of May. I'd look for that to continue. Last thing here on the game in Wrigley, big bullpen advantage here towards the Cubs. The Cubs have gone on a huge winning streak, and a lot of it is towards their relief arms. Their bullpen has been good. It's shot up here to my number 2 bullpen in baseball. I don't think the market is kind of shifting enough here towards the Cubs. Getting a good price here, minus 115. So that's one that's going off the board here, actually in just a few minutes. So for the guys watching live, appreciate you joining me. Please smash that like button and feel free to comment here live on YouTube and Twitter. I can see them both. So welcome in to everybody joining me. Hopefully the Cubs start us off with a win. Jesse, what is up, man? Thanks for joining me live here on YouTube. And Mott, welcome into you as well. I'm actually coming to you from south of the border in Mexico, the state of Veracruz. So apologize for kind of the background sounds. Little construction going on, some chickens, some birds. Hey, it's a fun time down here, but you kind of get what you get. And hey, this isn't the United States of America, but Mexico, a great time here. So definitely recommend coming down if you get the chance. Also saw a Mexican baseball league game, and it was a ton of fun. I'll get to that after the analysis here. 2 more games after the Cubs, minus the 115. Next game up, 4:10 Eastern, first pitch here. Toronto Blue Jays, Cleveland Indians here. We're seeing 8.5 being the total. Toronto Blue Jays minus 128 favorites, about $1.25 if you shop around here. And I think Toronto's underpriced right now. The hottest lineup in baseball in the last week. Love betting on teams seeing the ball well, and Toronto's seeing it as well as any team in MLB. They got Stripling on the hill, who's been really up and down. Not one of the better pitchers in MLB, no doubt about it, but the former 5th rounder out of Texas A&M, the former Aggie here. Last time out, he was pitching it well. 7 innings, 0 earned runs, only 2 hits given up and 7 Ks. So looking to ride that hot streak here with Stripling. Going up against Hengens, the lefty, for the Indians, and pretty much the exact opposite. He has not been good of late. 9 earned runs, 6 walks, 10 hits in his last 6 innings, plus the fact it was against the Detroit Tigers and the LA Angels. Not exactly 2 good lineups at all. Actually, 2 bad lineups in MLB. Now he's going up against the hottest lineup in baseball, and we're only having to pay 28 cents juice here. 18 miles an hour blowing in, 54 degrees for Cleveland here. But Cleveland just hasn't seen righties well either. They're bottom 5 against righties. Small bullpen advantage, yes, but I do think Toronto's bullpen, 18th by my rankings, by the way. I think they've underperformed. I think they have more talent in the back end, but it might be wishful thinking, might be kind of looking back, Monday morning quarterback here and saying, hey, you should have just gone off the numbers. But I do think they're underrated here. Stripling riding the hot hand and the hottest lineup in baseball on the Jays. Minus 128 for the second play here. Got some on a bunch of games. I spent a lot of time on today's card. But the last bet I have for today's card is actually in the nightcap. 7:10 Pacific here, 10:10 Eastern. So late on the East Coast, the Texas Rangers and the Seattle Mariners. We get Fulte versus Dunn here. And I like the underdog. You can get Texas Rangers as high as plus 102. Couple reasons why here. Fulte, his last 3 opponents faced Houston and the New York Yankees. He faced that Houston Astros lineup twice. So 2 of the better lineups in baseball. And now he's going up against Seattle. Seattle, a bottom 5 lineup against righties. I think he's actually going to have a lot of success. The 29-year-old former first-round pick came over from the Atlanta Braves. Has been in MLB for a couple years now, got dropped down, and then has come back. I think he's throwing the ball well. He does have a ton of fly balls, which the market really doesn't like betting on these type of pitchers. But the fact is, he's playing in Seattle on the West Coast at night, Pitchers Park here. So I don't think his fly balls are going to work as much against him here tonight. And going up against Dunn, the former first rounder out of Boston College, thing is, he's pitched 39 innings this season, 25 walks. He's not exactly a guy I'm looking to bet on, and they're the favored team here. I think the wrong team's favored with an 8.5 total. And the main reason why, guys, after breaking down the starting pitching, yes, I would give a small advantage here towards Fulte facing a lineup that doesn't hit righties well. And the fact that Texas, a top 10 lineup the last week, they're hitting the ball very good. But bullpen-wise, Middleton and Swanson. Middleton went back-to-back days for Seattle. Swanson, 31 pitches yesterday. So, and Graveman's out. So 3 of their top 4 bullpen arms for the Mariners are very questionable if they're going to be able to pitch tonight. And Texas, all arms are go out of the bullpen. So we get a 1-slot pitcher advantage, the 15th ranked bullpen by my numbers against the 16th ranked bullpen for the Mariners. And 3 of the 4 top arms aren't in for the Mariners. So huge late inning edge here towards the Rangers. Don't think the market's factoring that in fully here. So Texas Rangers plus 102, risk 100 to win 102 is the underdog play for me. So hit the chat box, guys. Feel free to leave any questions, any comments you got for me, and get them out here to everybody. Mark saying Drew laying juice. Not something you see every day. Yeah, no, for sure, Mark. Hey, my first look is always towards the plus prices here. We got 1 of them on the card and 2, I would say, short favorites, underpriced favorites, especially the Cubs, minus 115 at home. I like that one. And that, laying juice here with the Blue Jays. It's the hottest lineup in baseball, going up against the Indians. They don't hit righties well. I love this matchup for the Blue Jays as well. That's why I'm laying the juice in both of those. But the Rangers plus price, I like that one to hopefully end it with the winner. Mesa, yeah, we do have a big card. MLB card is huge on today's slate. Full MLB card for Saturday, all-day action, plus a bunch of double headers. So it should be a great day for baseball fans out there. Good luck to you as well, Barry. Thanks for joining me. Mont, yeah, hopefully I love the picks as well at the end of the day. So, guys, I really appreciate you joining me here. Sorry about the background noise here in Mexico. And, oh, yeah, I was talking about the Mexican baseball game I went to. I thought it was a ton of fun. It was opening night here in Veracruz. They were playing a team from Mexico City. And one thing is, Yasiel Puig, if you haven't heard of him, he's actually on the Veracruz team here in Mexico. And one thing I think MLB can kind of learn from Mexican League that I enjoyed being in the stands is when you go to the team I've been to the most is probably the Marlins, and they'll play music, and then during the game they kind of don't play music, so it will just be a pitch and then really no sound, nothing really going on, and then it will be another pitch, and then that's kind of it. You kind of got to wait for the game to go. Down here in Mexico, it is a lot more lively. They'll throw a pitch, and then they'll blare the music up, and then they'll turn it down, and then they'll throw another pitch and then blare the music up. And it's like people are dancing and drinking, and it's just a whole lot of fun because it will be a pitch, something will happen, and it'll be like, yo no sé mañana, yo no sé mañana. And people are like dancing. It was quite an experience. And I think that, MLB, with some of the decisions they're trying to make to make it a little bit more fun of a game and an experience, they could go more that route, putting more antics in, more music in. And it doesn't have to be all Spanish music, although Spanish music is good for dancing, if you know what I mean. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there, guys, of stuff I'm experiencing down here. But yeah, I've been in Mexico here, ESPN, Fred, for let's see, about 10 days, maybe. No. It came last Saturday, so 1 week, and actually was walking around and ran into this shelter because there's a ton of street dogs down here. And I was in the market for a dog kind of before the pandemic. Excuse my sweating. It's one thing about here being near the equator. It is hot and humid. So, but I appreciate the question here, Fred. And I ran into this shelter that helps like homeless dogs, but they really only give them 6 months. And then they just can't like really afford, it's, I guess, down here in Mexico, they can't afford to just kind of save every dog. And I found this one, and she was really nice, really calm, is exactly what I was looking for, and started walking her. And I'm like, man, this might really be a possibility here to kind of make this dog mine. And sure enough, there was no fee to get her or anything. And so just brought her back to where I'm staying. And sure enough, started to really fall in love with her. So I needed to push my flight back because you can't just bring unhealthy dogs in. They need all their shots and everything. So trying to get that done now down here, and got good internet connection, everything like that. So able to work from down here. So actually gonna push it back a week and try to save this dog and see what really happens. So hopefully it works out, Fred, and kind of an extended stay south of the border. So missing some of the life. I did live in Costa Rica for 2 years, so I'm used to living outside of the United States. There's some pros, there's some cons. There's dollar beers, cheap food when you go out. That stuff is really fun. But at the same time, United States of America is the best country in the world, in my opinion, for some reasons. But there's definitely things that I would throw out there that I didn't experience. Like the cops rolling around here, they all have like AK-47s, and they're all in trucks and 2 guys in the back. It's pretty crazy, in terms of how they patrol down here. But it's becoming a safer state anyway. I'm in the state of Veracruz. It's not exactly Cancun or Tijuana, Fred. It's real Mexico is what they call it. And it's funny because people here, I'll be like, oh, have you ever been to the United States? And they'll say back to me, no, but I've been to Cancun, or something like that. And it's just funny how they look at different places here. What breed, Fred? Actually, that's another good question, man. It's because I asked the vet, I'm like, what breed is this? And it's like Mexican calle perro, which is like a dog from Mexico on the street. So it's just a street dog. And I even pressed him. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like it's a mutt, but like, give me a couple breeds that it could be. And he's like, 10% Schnauzer, 90. He's like 10% Schnauzer, 90% Mexican street dog. So it's pretty much a straight mutt, but she's real sweet. Hopefully this does work out. Appreciate the comments here, Fred. I saw the airline really helped you out. Yeah, Mark, actually they came back here because I was going back and forth on Twitter of would they let me push it back or not. And sure enough, they did say that they would give me a voucher to help out with the dog. So I'll keep you posted on that because they used the word validate earlier in that, Mark, and then came back privately, in the public forum, they said they'd validate it. And then privately, they were like, no. And I think putting that out there to everybody, they've come back since and said that they will give me a voucher. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted on that. But be sure to post some pictures of the dog on Twitter, Barry. Hey, I will. I really want it to work out, though, because she's unhealthy right now. Like her skin is not good. It's not the type of dog like, you want to hold and take pictures of right now, but hopefully it works out in the long run that she works out. And yeah, Fred, that was hilarious too. Just Mexican street dogs. So we'll see how it works out. Jesse, welcome in, man. Yeah, you're liking the Blue Jays. Me too, man. Hottest lineup in baseball. Hopefully this works out. So, guys, hey, I appreciate everybody joining me up on 15 minutes now, so want to keep it short here. The 3 games I'm on, actually, the Cubs game has just gone off. I'm not watching it live, so hopefully that top of the first went pretty good here for Davies. Am on the Cubs, -115 for the record. Toronto Blue Jays, -128. And the Texas Rangers, +102. The 3 bets I got. And if you stayed with me this long, really appreciate it. I'll give out some other tidbits I got off the card that just missed. Actually, the second game, Milwaukee and Washington, I'm waiting to see how the Brewers bullpen goes in the first. If Peralta goes like all 7, keep in mind, guys, if you're new to baseball betting, doubleheader, it's 7 innings in the first game, 7 innings in the second game. So if Peralta goes like 6 or 7 in the first, I'm probably going to lay off of it. But in this game number 2, it's Anderson versus Lester. I think Washington's about a -120 favorite. I don't have the odds in front of me. I'm actually going to jump on the Nationals if he doesn't make it, say past the 4th or 5th inning, just because the Milwaukee pen, they're kind of top heavy. Hader, Suter, and Williams, and they've all pitched 2 of the last 3 days. So if those 3 guys aren't fully ready to go in game 2, I'm going to look to fade the Milwaukee bullpen. So that's game 2 tonight. Not going to go on record with that, guys, but just kind of throwing out information here because Washington has been better at home. And they're also a top 5 lineup against lefties, and they're facing a lefty in Anderson. And Anderson, the slated starting pitcher for game number 2 here, 17 strikeouts, 8 walks year to date. That's 29 innings. Those aren't numbers that are going to hold up long term. The Marlins and the Red Sox lost on the Marlins last night. It was 2-2 going into the bottom of the 5th, and sure enough, the Red Sox put up a 3 spot there to kind of spoil that underdog, or at least a push. Rogers on the hill with a 1.75 ERA. Last 24 innings, 4 earned runs, only 16 hits given up. He's been money on the road as well. So look to get there on the Fish, but the Fish lineup is pretty banged up here, guys. And they're going up against Evaldi. He used to play for Miami. 51 strikeouts in 55 innings. With his type of velocity, he's up over 95 miles per hour. And when you're not striking out, over, let's just say, put it at a strikeout an inning, which now in today's baseball is about average. And when you're throwing 97 plus and you're not getting that amount of strikeouts, I always look for something to be up there with Evaldi. But the fact is the Miami offense just isn't good enough to back right now. They need to get some of their better bats, Anderson and Chisholm, back. So that's what kept me off of Miami as a big underdog. And the Giants and Dodgers, feel like we got to bring that up. The top 2 teams in the NL West, or 2 of the top 3 teams in the NL West, excuse me, Padres fans. 10 miles an hour blowing out in Dodger Stadium, 70 degrees here. Webb versus Urias. Urias, the guy from down here in Mexico, he pitched in the Mexican Baseball League. Actually, interestingly enough, I learned a quick tidbit on him. He signed with a Mexican team when he was 15 years old. And this is part of the reason MLB teams were told not to sign Mexican League players until they, were not in their contracts anymore with their team in Mexico, mainly because of this contract dispute. A lot of his money that he signed with the Dodgers actually went to the team down here in Mexico, not to Urias. And with the corruption that was happening, MLB decided to step away because for a while there, the Mexican League was a good, almost like a minor league towards the major leagues. And they've since shut that down since 2019. A lot of the reason was due to Urias, who's a huge fan down here from the Mexican baseball fans. Actually, back-to-back times against the San Francisco Giants, and last time versus him. That's why we've seen so much money here coming towards the Dodgers. Size -190 now at home against a good Giants team. The reason is because he had 10 strikeouts and no walks, only 3 hits against this same Giants lineup. Anytime a guy's coming off of 10 strikeouts and no walks, the market's going to look to bet him more times than not anyway. Plus the fact that Dodgers, #1 hitting team against righties. So tough to step in front of that. But at the same time, I don't want to lay the -190. So look to be on the Dodgers, but I think it's gotten away from us near $2. So yeah, kind of the top game on the card. And yeah, those are the games that I broke down on today's card. So again, guys, appreciate everybody joining me here. Yeah, Jameson. I hope it works out. We'll see if I can get her into the United States. I'll keep you updated on Twitter @DrewMartinBets. Perez, you got the Reds. Well, best of luck to you, buddy. I appreciate you joining me. Guys, please smash that like button. Feel free to leave a comment below on Twitter, on YouTube as well. Feel free to like and subscribe. Try to do this tomorrow as well. Maybe from outside. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Sorry about the chickens and everything, guys. But in recap, Chicago Cubs already gone off, guys. So the guys watching live, hopefully we cash minus 115. Toronto Blue Jays minus 128. And Texas Rangers plus 102. So, guys, best of luck with your bets. Hopefully you enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, too. Try to catch you tomorrow. And let's cash these tickets.